King from the Section 8 buildings, tryna cope with murders and killings. Them streets cold, little nigga, I done lost all my feelings. Tryna turn a rap to a million. Ride around the city with a strap, I'm a realist. Talking to a nigga who fearless. A lot of pain on my heart, gotta pray for the healing. Change life, I'm so hanging with killers.
Every day it's on my mind, I gotta teach my people. Why the fuck y'all mad at me? Cause I call out evil. Y'all know the words of Yahweh is too damn lethal. I could show it in the Bible, them scriptures I read them. Niggas talking about action, I'm dying for this. Saturdays and Sundays we sliding on shit. I got the full armor of God, them darts gon' miss. I ain't the type when it's hard to abandon the ship. I'm standing down with my brothers, I'm never gon' leave them. No matter if I lose my life or I lose my freedom. I'm a servant of the Lord, I'm not no demon. I had a dream, Babylon when
praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. I should my check on shine. They're teaching the truth, man. This brother, how long you been in Israelite? How you know you're in Israelite?
Really? About the last about
5, 6 years?
Yeah, I started off watching I think it was GMS, HOI, GOCC. I watched basically all of them, right? And I wasn't really into I didn't know I was doing camera. But look, no, but I'm just saying I really got into it, right? But I had to back off it. I couldn't do the camp thing, you know? Because too many camps, right? To me, it's like these camps right here, or they want to do things, right? But it's kind of like they trying to make a deal with the Most High, right? Ooh. Some of these camps.
What do you mean?
I've seen some of their videos and the stuff that they say and the way they carry themselves. Like some of them will intentionally go in and mess with people or whatever, right? They just do stuff that's, you know how they say test the spirit? They do stuff that's contradictory to that, right? And it's like
what though? Like what? Like, can you give an example? Like what do they do? Like you said, test people. I mean,
yeah. Well,
or like
I'm basically talking about Esau. When you tell him his kingdom is over with, right? Because, you know, they come up to your face, well, you know, Jesus is this and that, right? I said, you know, you call him a pig when you call him Jesus. Because that ain't his name. His name is Yahweh.
It's a transliteration.
Right?
Hold on, what?
Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai.
Nah, that's the Most High's name in the name of the Son. But nah, Jesus is a transliteration still.
Yeah, but
we know it's not his Hebrew name, but it's still a transliteration of the Hebrew.
Yeah, that's
so
what most of the
world we don't
knows,
have a problem saying Jesus because when we're talking to people that know what's going on, of course, we'll say Yahweh Shai. That's 100%.
Yeah, well, see, I don't say that name because when I say it, right, this is what comes to my mind. Right?
Well,
the only way I can get this out of my mind is I got to say Yahweh. Because when I say Yahweh, then I think of a black man, which is what he is, right? I'm not worshiping them no matter what. I don't care if it's okay. No, I'm not saying you guys do, but I'm saying most of the world knows him as that, right?
For sure.
But I told some of Esau's descendants, right? That means earth pig, right?
Nah, it doesn't mean that.
Man, they Googled it and found out that it meant earth pig.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Let me Google it right now.
Hey, well, tell me why they attacked me then.
That's crazy.
Tell me why they attacked me then.
It means earth pig?
Yeah.
Nah, bro, I ain't gonna lie though. That don't even make no sense. What am I supposed to look up?
Zeus?
Well, no, that's different though. That's Greek. That's Greek.
Yeah, I understand.
Zeus means earth pig?
Because this dude is this name is short. Zeus. It's based on Zeus.
Where? How? I just told you Jesus is a transliteration of the first of all, the English and the Hebrew. And Greek. It's a Greek transliteration of it goes from Joshua is an English name, right? What is Joshua mean?
I'm not sure what Joshua.
What does it mean in Hebrew?
It means home.
You see, Hawashai. And Hawashai is Joshua in English. So just like in the Old Testament, Joshua and Moses, Joshua's name is the same name. Give me that back. Yeah, 7.
Hey, hold on real quick. I'm about to put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
My mind is open for
What's not a problem?
And I didn't been assaulted just for trying to tell them, who they was, and they was like, oh, well, you explain who Esau is, and explain what he did, and his brother, and how he sold out, supposedly, how Jacob supposedly stole Esau's blessing or whatever.
No, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. But then
When they were in the womb, he had that promise in the womb. So when they were older, that's how it played out because that's how it's supposed to be. See what I'm saying? So it wasn't a theft. God already pronounced that.
No, I said that's what they say.
I mean, sure. It says that in the New Testament, but that's not how God set it up. That's why his mom made it happen. Right. See what I'm saying? So give me that in Acts real quick.
This is Acts 7. I'm going to start. Acts 7:44. Our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness.
In the what?
In the wilderness.
In the wilderness. Read.
As he had appointed, speaking unto Moses, that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen.
So it's talking about the time in the wilderness, right? Go ahead.
Which also our fathers that came after brought in with Jesus.
With who?
Jesus.
Who's Jesus here?
But who's Jesus there?
Who's Jesus?
That's the name they put in.
But it's talking about what happened in the wilderness, though. So who's Jesus that was in the wilderness? It's with Moses. It's talking about Joshua.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. You talking about when they after
After the Exodus.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Jesus wasn't born.
No, the point is, Joshua has the same name as Jesus in the Hebrew.
You see, they don't teach that.
I mean, that's more of like an in-depth study type of aspect, but that's what I'm telling you. Jesus doesn't mean earth pig. That's what I'm telling you. Jesus is a transliteration of the Hebrew to the Greek, and then English of the Hebrew is Joshua. So when you get to the Greek word for Joshua or Yahushua is Isis, but then the J came later on, as you're familiar with.
Yeah, that's
why
another
it says
thing I had a
Jesus.
problem with, because I mean, the letter J only appeared 400 years ago, so how
Sure.
could his name been Jesus then?
Well, it's just a loop on the I. When you read the old King James, 1611, when you read the New Testament, where you say had Jesus' name, there's an I there. All it is adding a loop to it. That's it. So
But see, you would understand that if the Apocrypha was in there.
the Apocrypha is in there.
Yeah, the 1611 Bible.
Yeah, see, this King James
That's
with the
a new one?
Apocrypha. This ain't the 1611, but it's similar. It has the Apocrypha. King James.
Okay. No, because most of the ones I see, they don't have the Apocrypha.
Well, yeah, because most Christians don't believe in the Apocrypha.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, if you're getting all this good stuff, right, how you going to pick out and choose what you want when it's all
Well,
one?
because there's theology that comes, 1700s or so? That's when they took it out. Because
But they waited till King James died.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
and then they turned him into a homosexual, and then they turned him into what do you call that?
What was your name? I didn't get it.
Huh? Al.
Al? They took out. But we say that the letter J didn't come until like 400 years ago. That's true, right? But it was still pronounced. See, in Greek, when you, or even in Latin, or even Old English, right? It was pronounced, but when you see that I at the beginning of the word or the name, it was pronounced, right? But the actual writing of it didn't come. They changed it when you had to make a J, but it was still pronounced, right? Because like in Greek, the way they pronounce Jesus' name is G2424. Jesus. That's the Greek, but it's written like an I. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So later on, 400 years ago, just distinguish it from that letter I, which added a little tail to the J, but it was still pronounced.
Oh, okay. Okay, so all right, then okay, I can relent on that, right? But it's a lot of stuff that they took out. You know, I mean, there's some books missing. You could just tell. I know it's got to be at least 20, 30 books missing. Because man, my grandmother she had I can't find that old Bible. She had a Bible she bought in the 30s, right?
how many books are we supposed to have?
Huh?
How many books are we supposed to
Supposed
have?
to have more than 82. Supposed to be 100 or something.
According to who?
according to the Greek scrolls that King,
Hold on, what?
according to the Greek scrolls,
The Greek scrolls?
yes, the so-called Greek scrolls that
No,
King James
absolutely
supposedly.
not. Absolutely no. The Greek, you talking about the Septuagint?
You must be talking about.
So the Septuagint doesn't have 100 books in there, or 100 different, or 20 missing books.
The Septuagint is library of scrolls. That's what it is.
Yeah, so if you want to say that, first and foremost, they got the Septuagint from the Hebrew. You see what I'm saying? Back in the third century BC, because that's when Septuagint came, 300 BC. We translated it into Greek.
You don't think there's no books missing?
I believe there's a couple books missing, not 20 books. I don't believe there's 20 books missing. No.
You know what?
I believe
all
in
the books,
matter of fact, give me that
all the books
second
about
Ezra.
Esau, right?
14.
All the books about Esau except for him and Jacob, right? All the books is missing pretty much about Esau, how they grew up.
Where are you getting this from, though?
Huh?
Where are you getting this from?
Where I'm getting it
Yeah,
from?
where can we research that there's missing books about Esau?
Well,
Because the Bible's not about Esau.
Huh?
The Bible's not about Esau. It talks about Esau. It talks about other nations, but the Bible's about the Israelites, about our interaction with Edomites and prophecy.
I know when he said I come to the house of Israel.
Yeah, so how do
I
we
got
know,
that. I
so-
know who he was talking about.
Yeah, I
He
know,
wasn't
you're
talking
familiar
about
with this, but
everybody.
I'm saying, if I was to believe what you're saying, where would I start to research that to distinguish? Okay, well, damn, there's 80 books in the King James of the Apocrypha. Where's the proof that there's 20 missing books outside of that? Because people would reference Enoch or Jasher, Jubilees, the Book of the 12 Patriarchs, the Book of Adam and Eve. Those are pseudo
And
books.
what's the other guy?
Enoch.
Yeah, Enoch.
But Enoch isn't a real book. There's no manuscripts on Enoch.
The only pieces that Enoch that we do have were found at the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? And it's very small fragments of it. There's no way that the Book of Enoch that is in circulation today comes from those tiny pieces that they found at the Dead Sea. Absolutely not. It's only like credit card size pieces that they found.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to ask. Like, where will we find this information?
Basically, it comes down to the wheats and tares, right? So we'll find out who's right or wrong.
No, wheats and tares is separate from the documents.
I understand that.
I want to
but
know
I'm
about the
saying we're in that
documents.
time frame.
Huh?
We're in that time frame.
We're in the time frame that we can do all the research we can, and more information is coming about. So that's what I'm saying. Where are we supposed to find out what these missing books are? Like, how do we know that they're real? First and foremost.
Right.
Secondly, what are they called? How do we know they're real? And how do we know how many are missing or authenticated and are basically inspired by the Most High for the most part? How are we supposed to determine that? And where do we find this?
Well, I got mine out of the Bible, so I don't know where everybody else is.
Wait a minute, you said your mother's Bible or your grandma's
No,
Bible?
my grandmother's Bible.
What type of Bible was it?
But I haven't.
And what year was it?
It was it was a holy. It was a King James
Yeah, but
Holy Bible.
what year was the book published?
Somewhere in the 30s.
1930s?
Yeah. Somewhere
I mean,
in
the
the
King James was already in circulation.
I know that. I'm saying,
So
but
what type of-
that,
what
that
type of-
book that she had, right? It had, because I seen the Bibles that they have now, right? And I just skimmed through them, and I see a lot of the books that I remember. Because my grandmother, I used to be her little prayer partner, you know? And she used to make me go pray with her and all of that stuff, right? And anyway, she had a big old thick black Bible because it had her husband, her kids, and her grandkids, and all of that in the Bible, or whatever. But the Bible was like that thick, thicker than a phone book, right? And it was old, it was fragile. And I noticed when I look at the newer ones, it's like things have changed, right? If you could, even like
So I'm saying, they can add anything in the Bible.
Psalm 23.
Pictures and maps.
how it says,
This size book
as I
look
walk
like
through
you
the
can
valley
read
of
out
the shadow of death.
That's true.
Like in Psalm 23, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death and all of that, right? If you look in the new Bibles, right, it doesn't say that. It says,
I mean,
it
you
says
might
the
be talking
same
about the
thing, but
translation, though. You might be talking about the translation because translation can be a more modern interpretation and easier to read.
but translation can also, right, be used to confuse people as well.
I mean,
It could be
that's why
weaponized
that's why you
against
got to
people.
do comparative studying, comparative text.
Yeah, but see, I've been
So I don't believe it's about
so much.
confusion. I mean, there's certain translations that we can't get jiggy from. You know what I mean? Like there's certain, like not the entire Bible, but we would steer clear of certain chapters and certain texts because we know it's going to butcher the context and abuse the context of the King James. King James, I believe, is the proper interpretation as far as the translation.
So that's what
It's
y'all
a word-for-word
foundation is based on, King James, right?
You said what?
The foundation is based on King James, right?
I mean, the foundation is based on languages.
Yeah,
the
but I'm
King
saying the
James
language
is,
coming out of King
the
James.
King
right?
James is the clearest translation, word-for-word translation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it
yeah.
is actually based on.
But we read all the translations. You have to read all the translations.
Okay, all right,
Because
now.
certain things make different points and they speak clear messages.
Okay, well, I don't know if you guys do it or not, right? But a lot of camps, right? They only read the Old Testament. They don't read the New
Nah, I
Testament.
don't believe that.
No, there's some that don't read the New Testament.
That don't make no sense because all of them believe in Jesus. So why would they exclude the New Testament?
Well, not GMS, they don't believe.
Yes, they do. What is it? Come on, bro.
No, I'm saying they know it's Messiah, but they don't call him Jesus. Take a look at one of their broadcasts.
They don't have to.
No, but I'm saying all of the camps, man, I'm telling you, they're not.
Oh no, that's another thing that you referenced.
No.
You said that there's something called a camp doctrine. What's a camp doctrine? Because we're a camp. You know we're SICARII, right?
Well, I know, yeah.
So what's a camp doctrine?
Well, I mean, you guys, y'all been around about what, 10, 15 years now?
Probably like 14 years, maybe 15.
Yeah. And now all the other camps, well, not all of them, but a lot of them came out of One West out there in New York, right?
All of them came out of One West.
Yeah. And from what I've researched, right, and that is that the Rosicrucians went in there.
That's a rumor.
Huh? I don't think so.
They did go in there for sure, but nobody bid on it though. But there's rumors that one camp bid on it, but most of the people that was in there did not take that check.
They didn't take that back.
They didn't take that check. And I know people that was around back then.
Yeah.
I don't want to say no names, but
about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The Rosicrucians did go in there, but nobody took that check.
They approached.
Yeah, nobody took that check. There's one camp that might have took the check. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna slander their name.
No, I know you ain't talking about Nate, dude.
I'm not sure. I'm just saying, like.
Well, I ain't affiliated with any camp, so I can name them all.
But I'm just saying, though, what's a camp doctrine, though? Because everybody don't believe the same thing.
No, to me, it seemed like everybody's teaching the same formula over and over and over, and I understand that, right?
What other formula is there?
Well, you should have something. I mean, damn, the shit they teach is, man, that shit is depressing.
What?
It's depressing.
You had Jeremiah.
It's depressing, buddy.
Matter of fact, let me read this real quick. Read.
This is 2 Ezra 14. I'm gonna start at 42. The highest gave understanding unto the 5 men, and they wrote the wonderful visions of the night that were told, which they knew not. And they sat 40 days.
40 days, read.
And they wrote in the day, and at night they ate bread. As for me, I spake in the day, and I held not my tongue by night. And in 40 days they wrote 204 books. And it came to pass, when the 40 days were fulfilled, that the highest spoke, saying, the first that thou hast written, publish openly.
Yeah, publish what you wrote openly. Not everything, not the 200 books. Whatever the most I want you to publish it. Go ahead.
That the worthy and the unworthy may read it, but keep the 70 last. But thou mayest deliver them only to such as be wise among the people. For in them is a spring of understanding, thou art wisdom, and the spring of knowledge. And I did so.
That's what he did. So around this time, this is right after Babylon, they were in the Persian captivity. What happened to the scrolls? They burnt them all. But if you're familiar with the Israelite culture, we had scribes. Scribes rewriting, copying things down. That's their whole job for their life. So guess what? These scrolls that we have all copied over and over and over. So by the time our scrolls got burned, Ezra had to, he was a scribe, he had to rewrite everything as well with other people. And Most High gave him more information at that time. But he said, hey, only give out this information to the nation of Israel. Keep most of the esoteric knowledge of everything to the people that understand it. Because everybody's not meant to be basically dive into the pool of information like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what some people are not aware of. Because there's prophecies in this book that haven't come to pass yet. Parables, dark sayings, things like that people still don't understand. There's certain things that we don't understand still. There's no information on it. We don't know. But we know most of it. You see what I'm saying? So this is just an explanation of Ezra writing things that aren't necessarily going to be published that we probably don't have to this day.
And we got to remember, we had a wicked king, Jehoiakim. What did he do?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a problem to say we're missing books, but whatever we have is what's necessary for us right now. Right. See what I'm saying? We can do that. So what I'm saying? So you said it's depressing. What's depressing right now?
No, I'm saying that this whole world is depressing.
I mean, that's because we're not in charge.
Huh?
That's because we're not in charge. You got the Proverbs?
You know about that, but like I said, it's depressing to deal with me.
What's that?
So it's mentioned shit. I'll be
You got a
glad
flyer,
when this
brother?
shit.
You got a flyer?
Yeah.
Oh, praise. We on YouTube, brother. All right, we out here every Saturday.
I'll be glad when this shit's over with. I'll be glad when this society, when I see buildings falling and crumbling and motherfuckers screaming and hollering, shit burning. Then I'll know that the Great White Empire is over. Okay?
Oh yeah, it's the beginning of the end right now.
Yeah.
We know Trump just sent missiles to Iran along with Israel. So I just seen something like yesterday or the day before. They were talking about, he's gonna basically think about it for like 2 weeks or something. He did it like in 2 days. You know why? Because, well, this is what I told y'all. Netanyahu basically was holding U.S. citizens in Israel hostage, pretty much. He wouldn't let them leave the country. Why? Because, if Iran bombs the country, U.S. citizens get killed, America got to get involved there. You just killed citizens of America in a foreign country. But at the end of the day,
Israel owns America.
of course they do. Nobody believes that, but we do. We know that for a fact. But give me that Ezekiel.
That's what I hear.
Give me that Proverbs 29 that.
Ezekiel 2:10, and he spread it before me.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 2:9. And when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me. And lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me. And it was written within and without. And there was written therein lamentation, mourning, and woe.
Lamentation, mourning, and woe. In Ezekiel. Why? Because Most High is giving the prophecies of doom and gloom. End time, future prophecy, and in his time. Because he was in Babylon, boy.
This is in the NLT, the New Living Translation. Jeremiah 2:9-10. Then I looked and saw a hand reaching out to me and held a scroll, which he unrolled. And I saw that both sides were covered with funeral songs, words of sorrow, and pronouncements of doom.
Pronouncements of doom. Most High knows the end from the beginning. He knows the end of everybody, everything that he already
But I'm saying people tell me, right, that's the main reason why they don't like to, dig into religion and all of that, right? Mostly for their guilt, because they know they did some shit, and it's karma time, so, payback time.
I mean, some people, it's easier for them not to believe, so they don't even got to think about it. Because they think America is just the greatest country, we're the perfect country, our military is the strongest, which is true.
I know, but see, when they
tale.
actually find out and see who the chosen people really are, and they have to live with this. See, right now, I think they're getting the psychological guilt, of it, and it's starting to really mess with
who
them.
you talk to. Because most Christians, they don't even view.
You must ain't
Israelites
been to church in a while, huh?
Why go to church?
Ain't nobody there.
I'm not trying to. Well, especially our people.
That's
our
why
people,
I said you
our
must.
people don't need to be in church. I'm
No,
just
but
saying,
that's why I said
as
you
far
must
as
ain't been to
information being
church
taught.
in a minute.
If you're in the Christian church, you don't. you don't even count the Israelites as a real people anymore because you're all spiritual Israelites in the church. You're all God's people. God loves everybody.
But
So
then
would
why
they think
is
Hispanics
most of the
born
black
out of
churches
Israelites?
shut down then?
I mean, the ties ain't only gonna hold for so long, and that's why people are leaving the church in droves because the message ain't. There's no spirit involved for the most part.
Yeah, I know. And they doing all kinds of crooked stuff and all of that, you know, in the church as well.
There's plenty of churches left that millions of people go to on a daily basis, and they think they're supposed to be praying for Israel, praying for Gaza, praying for Ukraine. No. God is pushing buttons here that's allowing this type of stuff to happen.
No, I'm saying, listen, me personally, I'm not gonna pray for them. Okay?
How can you pray against God's prophets?
Huh?
People are
No, I'm
praying against
talking
God's
about
prophets.
Gaza and all of that because they ain't the original people that supposed to be there anyway. So I'm not gonna pray for them.
Oh, well, no, I'm just
conquerors.
but Christians lead us. You see what Ted Cruz just said?
Yeah, but look,
What did Ted Cruz just say?
who's Ted Cruz?
Ted Cruz is like a Republican senator. And he was sitting down with Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson was getting on his line.
Look, man, you know better than to put any tape in that.
Huh?
You know better than to put any tape in any kind of.
Well, no, I'm just saying, he referenced the Bible scripture in Genesis. Give me that Genesis text.
Because he need to keep his Bible belt together.
Just imagine if
But their whole mechanism is falling apart. So they're using every trick in the trade to try to keep people corralled.
Well, nah, they want unwavering support of the state of Israel. That's what they really want at the top level. The people know better. Like, you're killing innocent people. That's crazy. Now, do we say they're innocent? Yeah, sure. But in God's eyes, he's just checking off a box. You know what I'm saying? Sounds crazy, but that's how it works. You know?
Now, imagine if Tucker Carlson just threw a curveball at him. What if he said, he's talking about Abraham? He wouldn't know how to answer that, though. It's crazy. The Genesis 12 and starts on the top. Now the Lord said unto Abraham, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred, from thy father's house, and unto the land that I will show thee. I will make thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great. And thou shalt be a blessing, and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curse thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
Meaning what? The people that are being born from Abraham and chosen seed, Isaac and Jacob.
Was that before or after his wife laughed? Abraham's wife.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Before.
Oh, before she laughed?
Yeah, before. Yeah, that's like Genesis 17, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, this is Genesis 12, but God gave him the promise, hey, your seed's going to be blessed, and all nations are going to be blessed through your seed. When he's talking about the nation of Israel, ultimately through Yahweh Shai as the king of the earth at that time. But the point is, Ted Cruz quoted this, and Tucker Carlson's like, wait a minute. So I'm a Christian too. Like, so are those people the real people of Israel? Are those the same people that God was talking about? And he's sticking to them, and Ted Cruz is like, oh, well, I'm just telling you what I believe. That's why we're doing that. That's why they give him billions of dollars. I'm just like, oh, this dude's a clown. And I like Ted Cruz in certain areas of how he talks to people.
Yeah, but
especially when he's exposed to certain stuff. I'm saying that's
Ted Cruz done
with
with
the
Trump and
Israel
all that.
thing,
They can't
with
convince
his
me that
puppets.
they're real people. I know the people who are apostles.
You said what? Oh yeah.
I said the people in
Well,
the
we were looking at the videos. You
I know
studied
that.
enough
Because
to know
when you
learn
ask,
enough that.
especially when you ask these rabbis about it, right? The minute you mention that you're a Hebrew Israelite, they out of here.
Yeah, why would they want to talk to us? We're going to them. We're not. They want us to convert to Judaism. That's what they want.
No, ain't nothing happening.
Well, yeah.
Not for me.
There's black people that's in Judaism under them rabbis.
I understand that,
One
and
comes
you
by,
know what?
and
It's
off.
their choice. But I'm just saying, I ain't gonna be in line. I ain't down with that. I'm not gonna be in line with them. I know they ain't the apostles. You think I'm gonna uphold their bullshit? Huh?
I mean, they keep.
I'd rather
Torah
see this
with
shit
the but
implode before I uphold their bullshit.
What about the Most High's laws? They keep those laws of God.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What about smoking cigarettes?
Well, that's one I ain't.
Why not?
Shit, it's hard as hell, man. I've been smoking 35 years. And don't tell me, oh, you can just pray it away. That's bullshit.
I didn't say pray.
it away.
I wasn't gonna say that at all.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying
I'm
that.
saying I didn't heard that though.
I mean, why not? I can pray for you for sure.
You know,
but the Most High knows your spirit in your heart, and it's poisoning yourself.
But look,
you're killing yourself, brother.
Right.
Al, you're killing yourself, Al.
I know. Listen, the
That's
Most High,
ridiculous,
the Most High
brother.
dealing with me. I'm dealing with
How?
him too.
You've been in the truth for 5 years. You know what happened? I came to the truth about 8 years ago. And I stopped smoking weed. Why? Because I fear God. And I knew like this ain't what I was going to do.
That's right.
That's what I did. You know what I did? I stopped hanging around people that smoke. I stopped buying weed. And I just stopped cold turkey after it took me 5 months. But I wanted to do it because I know, hey, Most High brought me the information. It's a sin. And why am I going to poison myself with that? Why am I buying poison? Weed itself isn't poison. Tobacco is obviously that. You know there's pork in that cigarette, right?
Yeah, I heard they took pork.
So you're sitting right now. You're holding pork.
You know what?
And you're holding all type of chemicals, brother. And there's a new article that just came out saying that marijuana can cause heart disease.
Yeah.
How old are you, brother?
I'm 52.
52. You've been in the truth 5 years. What's the hold
Actually,
up?
I've been,
What's the hold up?
Shit, the hold up is, man, I got vices like everybody else.
That's not an excuse.
I didn't say it was an excuse. I just said I got vices. No,
that's a fallback. I got vices. This is what I've been doing
no,
35
I'm
years.
not using it as an excuse.
You just told me that though. You just told me you've been doing it for 35 years. So for the first 30 years before you found the knowledge didn't change you. But give me that song.
But see, when I started researching, right, I didn't know which direction it was going to take me in, right? So
What do you mean?
Well, it took me so far away from what I had been learning before, right, that, I slowed down because I didn't know which direction it was going, and it was unknown to me, and I didn't want to just jump right into it. I'm telling you,
Okay,
that's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. It's been 5 years or 6.
Yeah, and I'm
So which way are you going now? Especially if you're still smoking, like you're not wearing fringes. You know what I mean? You're shaving your face then. There's a multitude of sins at this very second. So what's going to change? And you're talking about camps? Why are you talking about camps when you're not even you're not even doing what you're supposed to do? You're a hypocrite.
Wow. What's called a hypocrite?
You're a hypocrite, brother.
Yeah. That's the first time.
So at least the people in the camp keep the laws, or at least try to keep the laws.
No, they don't.
How do you know?
Not what you guys do, but all the camps.
Well, I'm saying you referenced a camp down the street,
Yeah.
and they were not too nice to
So
you.
y'all got pistols in your pack?
Excuse me?
You got pistols in your pack?
No,
Oh, so what do you think about them having them?
I don't know what they got going
That's
on.
godly?
Did you see it?
Yes, that's godly.
They have pistols in their bag.
Then he reached in when I started walking up on him, he reached in. What is he reaching in his bag for?
I don't
What was
know.
in his backpack?
I'm not accusing of anything. I didn't see anything.
No, I'm just
going
saying.
over and telling you.
No, remember I told you they was hostile? And you was like, they wouldn't talk to nobody. I went up and walked up, and I seen their little setup or whatever. I didn't violate their little space, but I'm saying you reached in the bag on me.
I'm not sure. I don't know what they have.
No, I
We don't have-
understand.
we don't have
Y'all
that in
not
our bag.
affiliated with them. I understand it. Y'all not affiliated with the guys down here because their uniforms is different than y'all, and they does not say SICARII.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's IUPK or UPK or something like that, right? With all that black. I'm just telling you what I seen just a little while ago.
But
Okay.
here's the thing. That's not the sin.
Huh?
Having a pistol on you is a sin. You're in sin, sir. So what are you gonna do about that?
I didn't have no pistol. I'm saying he reached in the bag on me.
You're trying to curve the topic into something different. I'm telling you, at least they're trying to keep the law. And you said, well, they have pistols in their bag. That's not a sin. So why you bring that up? We're talking about sins here, sir.
No, I'm
You're
saying
in
I
sin.
think that is a sin.
Where?
Huh?
Where's that?
What is a gun for?
Protection.
Protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. A gun
What's
is
the
something.
sin? Show me the law.
Well, a gun is something that murders people. Okay, it's not protection.
Are they murdering anybody?
Well, the day ain't over with. So
So everybody that has a gun is a murderer.
Huh?
Everybody has a gun is a murderer.
If you shoot somebody, it is.
Yeah. What about protecting your home, your family, and yourself?
Well, I guess there's certain situations where it's called for, and I would expect somebody to defend their
You
family.
have a pistol?
That's classified information, but
All right. Well, now say it. Really?
Luke 22 and 35 to 36.
Which means he does.
Bring it out.
Hypocrite again.
And he said unto them, when I sent you out without a purse, and script and shoe lacking anything, they said nothing. Then he said unto them, but now he that hath a purse,
If you have a purse, which means money, read.
let him take it.
Uh-huh.
Likewise his script.
Read.
And he that hath no sword,
Do what?
no
You
sword,
don't have a sword, a weapon, read.
let him sell his garment and buy one.
That's what Jesus Christ said. If you don't have a sword, a weapon, sell what you have and buy something. A weapon. This is the Messiah, the house show.
okay.
So,
And where's that at?
this is Luke.
Luke 22, 35 to 36.
So, you're saying that there's sin, but Yahushua said you don't have a weapon to go get it. So
Well,
how
I
is that a
don't
sin?
have no weapon on me, but
That's
you
not
know,
what I'm saying. I don't have a weapon on me either. I mean, I do, but I don't. I don't have a gun. But I'm just saying, though, I have things that happen. But it's not a sin, sir. I'm not out here plotting to kill people. It's for my personal protection and my family's protection. And the people that I know that I cherish and love and I call brothers. You know what I'm saying? We're not out here holstering weapons just because. First of all, it's illegal. You don't have a CCW. Secondly, we're not worried about that. You see what I'm saying? We don't fear nothing out here. The Most High protecting us.
I don't fear anything out here neither, right? But I'm thinking if you trying to open people's eyes, right? And even if they don't represent your particular camp or whatever, right? You're still trying to open up people's eyes and people's minds, right? I'm just saying, to me, it don't look good when you try to ask them for information and they reach you in the bag on you. I understand they don't know you or whatever, right?
What did they take out of the bag?
Huh?
What did they take out of the
nothing
bag?
after I left.
So you just assume what they had.
Well, like I said,
Yeah, you're assuming.
yes, but hey, I'm
Because
pretty
you know-
sure he wasn't trying to reach
You
for
know we
no
have bags
chicken
back
sandwich.
here. I have all kinds of books in my backpack.
I know, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't reaching for no chicken
He
sandwich.
said, bro, he wasn't worried about that. Trust me.
And he wasn't.
Why would they-
He
why would
wasn't
they have-
reaching
why
for
would
no
they
Bible
pull a gun on him?
because as soon as I left, he took his hand out.
I don't know about that. But either way.
Hey, I've been out here with the streets. I know
The
what that
point
means.
is, you contradict yourself. You're a hypocrite and you're a sinner. So you gotta upgrade yourself, sir. You can't talk about other people, but you don't have the right to do so. That's what Christ taught us. What? Take the beam out of your eye first before you say talk about somebody else. Have you read that before?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So are you gonna update your thought process and how you live?
One day I will.
One day, you can.
Ooh.
This is dangerous, Al.
Yeah, but you know what? This is how me and the Most High been doing business for a minute.
What business?
Well, when I talk to him, I tell him.
I can talk to him?
Yes, I do.
You can talk to the Most High directly?
In my prayers.
You gotta talk to Yahushua to mediate. You can't talk to the Most High directly.
Well, I know that, but you can talk to him in spirit when you're praying.
Sure, but you can't. The Most High's not talking to you.
Well, how do you know?
Is the Most High talking to you?
How do you know?
But the Bible says otherwise. You know what? That's ridiculous.
Psalms 5 and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord.
Yeah, I know
Hey,
he said,
Terry,
don't be late. I already know. Don't be late, right?
No, don't make no carry to turn to the Lord. Meaning, don't wait to
drag
turn
your
to the
feet.
Lord. Yeah, go ahead.
Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day.
Don't put off from day to day. It's been
No
5
man
years,
knows.
Al. Al, it's been 5
Tomorrow's
years. Al.
not promised to any man. I know that already.
It's been 5 years. Go ahead.
For suddenly
Suddenly,
shall the wrath of the Lord come forth.
you don't know when God gonna judge you for trying to. Oh, I'm dealing with the Most High Most High doing business with me. What? Like, how do you know what's going to happen? You might be a 2/3. All you know. See?
For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security,
And what?
thy security,
In your security. Read.
thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
Listen, we're trying to
That
warn you,
happened.
brother.
It was meant to happen.
And that's the point. You know what's going on, though. That's the difference. You're not a blind sheep. You came into us talking about you're SICARII, you're the Israelites. You know what's going on. You went to talk to the other Israelites, and now you're coming up here. Either way, you're familiar with the information to the point where you recognize that you're talking to you, but your life is a reflection of the change.
Yeah, I know.
And that's a problem. Are you telling me about the information?
Huh?
Are you talking about Israelite information to other people?
Well, not anymore.
All right, well, that's good.
No, I mean, I'm not versed enough to sit up and act like I'm some kind of scholar or something on it. You know
That's not
what
a
I mean?
problem.
And
That's
then
not a
plus,
problem.
I ain't trying to lead nobody if I don't know where I'm going. I ain't trying to lead nobody.
That's
Same
great.
direction.
Because I would have told you to stop as well because you're not living a lifestyle that somebody that's supposed to be knowledgeable of
Well,
what
I
the Most High
realized
wants you to
that
do.
like about a year and a half ago. I realized
What's that?
that I wasn't living the right lifestyle, so I need to put something in. But that was after I got assaulted and all kind of shit, man. You don't know what the hell. You know, I'm talking to other people about it, right? And they telling me, I'm telling them, we learning just bits and pieces off each other, right? And there's other people that's around us that don't like what we saying or something, you know? And they
That's
try
natural,
to,
though.
huh?
That comes with the territory.
Well, I understand that, but you know, put it like this, right? All bets is up when you swing on me. Okay?
So yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You gotta
All
protect yourself.
bets is off when you
John 9:31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners,
Read.
but if any man be a worshiper of God and does his will,
Read.
him he hears.
If God is going to answer your prayers if you're a sinner, that means you got to stop sinning and get your prayers in. So you're saying that you pray to God or you talk to God, like, why would God listen to you? You're not even trying to live how He wants you to live. It doesn't make any sense. And you're pointing a finger at other people. Brothers that they boots on the ground. See what I'm saying? I respect all brothers that got their boots on the ground, whether I agree with them or not. See what I'm saying? Because we're doing this out of love of our people. You know what I mean? And loving the Most High, obeying the Most High, His Son. Because we're commanded to come outside and teach our people. Rain, sleet, or snow, or shine. I've been traveling the country doing this for 8 years. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Thousands of dollars just to teach the Bible. See what I'm saying? Yeah. We better be in Atlanta next month. You think I'm getting reimbursed for that? No. But guess what? I'm doing it just because I love my people and I love my brothers. And we gotta maintain this walk. And that's what's wrong with you, probably. You need brothers around you that uplift you, hold you accountable. You see what I'm saying? You can't just be at home and watch videos. I mean, it's different if you keep the law, but you're not doing either. You see what I'm saying? You're not keeping the law, and you're not teaching nobody. So it's a double-edged sword. Not to mention the cigarettes, like you're just adding on to the nonsense. And that's why it says even security, the Most High might tap you on the shoulder as
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and deny nothing that you're saying, right?
But I'm trying to encourage you, though. I'm trying to encourage you.
Yeah, I'm saying
So you can't tell me
getting there, but
I'm going to do it
there
when I
right
get
now.
to it. That's ridiculous.
I'm just not there right now. Mentally,
What's it going to take?
I don't know. I really
You don't want the Most High to tap you on the shoulder, brother.
Hey, well, you know what?
Proverbs
If
28
you
and
got
9.
me on the
He
shoulder-
that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayers shall be an abomination. That word in Hebrew, that abomination is like a stench, right? Because the prayers of the saints, it's like incense to God. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're praying while you're doing the wickedness, there's a stench to it. It stinks.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you say you're talking to God, like, it doesn't make sense. Now, of course, it's not a problem if you want to do it, because the Most High can really show himself
literal,
still.
like Moses.
Well, no, I know what you mean, though.
Like
You're
that.
thinking about it, you're talking to him like, damn, I want this happen, this happen.
No, I basically
Something that happened in your favor.
I pray the way I
protect you.
learned how to pray, and then, hey, pray, but I meditate before I pray, and I do go over certain things or whatever. And then I pray whatever. I don't ask for anything, whatever, right? I pray, then I leave it alone after that.
When I'm talking about that, I'm talking about just in general. Like,
No, you said like
you're
I
not asking for the proper thing.
Like overspend the burden.
you need to ask to put down the cigarette. Give me the strength to put down a damn cigarette. You know what somebody told us last week or was 2 weeks ago? He paid $13 for a pack. How much you pay for that pack?
Price is right here about $5.
For a pack? Oh, one of the people that panhandles?
No, it's some people out here, the little Asian ladies.
Yeah. Somebody be stealing them and get off for $5.
No, they sell them.
On the streets.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. They didn't buy them for the regular price.
No, I'm talking about the Asian ladies.
I know I know the Asians that's out here. They get somebody to steal for them, they pay them for the theft, and they sell it for a markup price. That's what Asians do. That's what Moab does.
Those ones, it'd be the ones, old boy right there in the red
I
pack.
know you're talking about.
They like knockoffs or like imports from.
Yeah.
They ain't like name brand. It's like,
way.
it's like,
They
yeah,
like knockoffs from Europe.
Sure. I mean, it's still poison.
right,
It's
right.
pork and poison.
Right.
2 beef, pork and poison. It's crazy. Give me that. That's what it is. See what I'm saying? Psalms 19:7.
Psalms 19:7. The law of the Lord is perfect,
The law of the Lord is perfect. Read.
converting the soul.
And what?
Converting the soul.
That's what the law is supposed to do. It's supposed to convert your soul. Your soul is your mind. Your spirit and your soul is separate. Your body and your spirit connect. That's where your soul comes from. Your consciousness. That's what you have to get to. Your mind has to change through the laws of God.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know the information, or at least enough to complain about it. At least, because that's what you be complaining the whole time. It's pointing the finger at the people, but you can't do that, brother. You can't be a hypocrite. That's what.
What if you're wrong?
What's that?
What if you're wrong?
What if I'm wrong? About what?
About me in particular. I ain't talking about what you're wrong.
What am I wrong about?
No, I'm saying, but what if you're wrong?
Well, I'm not wrong. I
So
know you're in sin right now.
You
in
going
3D.
by what I heard.
No, I'm
or
looking
what-
at you, brother. Al, right?
Uh-huh.
Al, you shave your face. I'm 100% sure your clothes aren't 100% material. You're smoking a cigarette. You don't have fringes on. You don't keep the holy days. You don't keep the law. You're in sin. What else I can learn? What else am I wrong about?
Well, let's just say you are. You might not. Listen,
crazy.
you might not be eating pork because you know what time it is.
There's pork in that cigarette.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? But only because you're not.
But listen, did you not hear what I said earlier?
Wait a second. Only because you're not breaking this law doesn't mean that
You're not breaking the law.
Like you're not. You know what I'm saying?
I
There's
know it's
other-
all together, and it doesn't matter if you break a small piece or a big piece, you're breaking the law all together. I know that.
Well, no, the difference is you're not even thinking about it. That's the difference. You're familiar with a little bit of information, like I said. You're not practicing it.
What I know, right?
Whatever you know, because you said you haven't read everything, you haven't studied enough to teach it, which is not a problem. Everybody's not a teacher. Everybody's not meant to be outside either doing what we're doing. But I was saying though, if you're coming up to here, us talking about the Israelites and then complaining about other Israelites, there's no room for you to talk. Because I know for a fact the brothers down the street is out here fervently every week, online, wherever they're at, traveling countrywide, nationwide, overseas places, doing this work for free. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. Now I know that they're trying their hard to keep the law, but we're still in our flesh. We're still in our flesh. We're capable of sinning for sure. Do we sin on purpose? No. That's what I'm saying. You can't tell me, let's just say I'm wrong about you. No. I'm looking at you and I know you're in sin. That's the bottom line. And that's my job.